It's a senior day Saturday with the SCIAC season on the line. The Chapman Panthers play their final home game of the year. No win, no loss ends their postseason dreams. Meanwhile, the Verne Leopards, even though they're out of the tournament, know how to cause an upset. Nico Schwegler alongside Michael Herrera, Kayleigh Milbourne in just a second. And Mike, message is simple for these Panthers. Win or watch that postseason dream fade away. Fortunately for Panther fans, this team is hitting their stride at the right moment.
Perfectly said. They've won back-to-back games, one against Kewanna Pitzer, and this past Wednesday they mounted a 15-point comeback against UC Santa Cruz. And you look at this matchup, on paper, they're favored. But one of the most dangerous things for a team making a playoff push is facing a team with nothing to lose. And the Verne Leopards have a chance to come out today and play spoiler.
Panthers won the first matchup of this season 63-50, but as you mentioned, Verne coming off that big win against formerly #1 seed Cal Lutheran, ending the Regal 7-game win streak. The Panthers certainly on upset alert, but on paper it looks like they should be able to come away with this one.
Absolutely. I mean, look at just the points per game scored. Chapman has had their offense struggle, but they're, look, clearly 8 points ahead of Verne. And look at the turnovers when it comes to that. Not only is Chapman just overall better at not losing those turnovers, but when they're able to get to make those turnovers, they're making it hurt and they're punishing their teammates, their opponents. You look at the points off of turnovers for Chapman, 18.5 compared to Verne's 12.7. And that's going to be the key in this game. Defense, 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 where both of these teams have struggled this season.
Panthers one of the best at not turning the ball over. Verne quite the opposite. It'll be a fun matchup to see, as Carol Jew definitely knows what's at stake in this one. And for more on that, we go downstairs to our very own Kayleigh Milbourne, who has more. Verne trying to cause an upset here in the final home game of the season for these Chapman Panthers. And more importantly, senior day here from the Harold Hutton Sports Center as we get set to honor these 3 seniors who have been fantastic over these past couple of years, as we'll go back downstairs to Kayleigh Milbourne, who has that update.
Opportunity to speak with head coach Carol Jew about Chapman's strategy heading into this game. She said that their goal would be to get as many defensive stops as possible to keep Verne's confidence low. As well, the Chapman Panthers won't get a defensive stop until they get a rebound. Now with that strategy in mind, it'll be exciting to see how this game plays out. Back to you guys.
So much, Kayleigh. As we get set for this senior ceremony, Carol Jew honoring these 3 seniors for these Chapman Panthers who've been here for all 4 years. Quite the feat in the modern age of college sports.
Without a doubt, Nico, they've certainly been a staple of this franchise. I mean, you look at Shorefee, one of the just key starters in this game. You look at Callie Kahala. She was injured for a little bit, out since December. She might not start today, but she's certainly bound to get a role. And of course, Trinity Barreto, this triple-headed dragon when it comes to the seniors on this court. And you know they're going to give her their all out in their final home game.
Let's send it down to our very own Gabrielle Ducharme to do the rest.
Who has made 48 starts so far and appeared in over 74 for doing data analytics. A 5'8" guard from Oceanside, California, earning her degree in computer science with a minor in analytics. Folks, give it up for number 21. Here to celebrate her senior day and along the way to return to the court are her parents, Catherine and Jin, and her brother, Jordan.
We love you, Kelly!
Folks, give it up again for Callie Kahala! Our third and final senior is yet another 4-year team member and team captain who has appeared in 88 total games at the start of the last 3 seasons for your Panthers. She's a member of the SCIAC All-Academic team and is a multi-time Conference Athlete of the Week. She's averaging career-high 7 points and 5 rebounds a game in the 25-26 season. Next year, she's going to complete her master's degree here at Chapman University in Leadership and Development. She's a 5 and 10 forward, earning her degree in Strategic and Corporate Communications with a minor in Leadership Studies. Folks, give up for number 14, Hayden! Aiden Sharkey is joined today by her parents, Colleen and Gary, her sister Skylar, grandparents Ken and Olive, and family members Linda and Moy. Folks, give it up yet again for the members of class of 2026. We're going to ask all seniors to come back to the middle for one final group photo and one photo all together as just the seniors.
3 seniors here for all 4 years. Aiden Sherfy, Callie Kahala, and Trinity Barreto, all key contributors on this squad, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive today, going against a feisty Laverne team who has some excellent players in their own right. As we want to highlight Alyssa Smith, Mike, second leading scorer in the SCIAC this season, a double-double machine, and she's certainly one that can cause problems, not only for these seniors, but for the rest of the Panthers.
Nico, in a couple of weeks when this season's over, she arguably has a great shot to be the Athlete of the Year in the conference. She has been impeccable all season long. You mentioned that you look at the points per game. Not only that, she leads in overall points. She has 10.4 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game. You mentioned that double-double machine. This past game out against Kalu, that was her 10th double-double of the season.
18 points, 15 boards in that win against number 1 Cal Lutheran. And on the flip side for the Panthers, Miley Nakaji has been a flamethrower all season long, also a pickpocket artist, certainly been one that's been heating up recently.
We talked about it before, one of the keys to this game being making those turnovers count. And Miley Nakaji is someone that can do that. You give her an open lane, she's going to shoot for 2. You leave her unguarded beyond the arc for 1 second, she's going to switch that bucket. And you can see with the stats here, 13 points per game, 2.3 3-pointers per game. Not only that, she's first in the SCIAC with 51 3-pointers, and you mentioned it, first in SCIAC with 61 steals. She is sneaky, and she is a force to be reckoned with on the court.
She definitely wants some get back, coming off her poorest shooting percentage of the season against UC Santa Cruz. Certainly in line for a big game here for the final home game for these Chapman Panthers of this season. Mike, as we get set for this matchup, Chapman, obviously, you mentioned it, the comeback win against UC Santa Cruz. It was a big one for this squad who hadn't had as much adversity necessarily, trying to come back from those large deficits, prove they could against a very testy Banana Slug squad. And you have to imagine the confidence that gives this type of team, now with the experience that they have, trying to make that push for the playoffs.
Absolutely. It was an electric environment here Wednesday afternoon when they were able to mount that comeback. And that first half, that game was a tale of two different teams. In that first half, they really struggled on offensively on shooting pretty much everywhere. In that second half, they came to life. They knew what was upcoming this weekend and through the rest of next week, which is their most important stretch of the season. But like you said, every game now is win or go home. And certainly the vibes have to be up after a momentous comeback against the great Banana Slugs team.
Panthers need to win out. The game's circled on everyone's schedule on Wednesday at Occidental, a team that beat these Panthers by 20 points earlier in the season. It was a brutal second half showing for Chapman as Occidental stormed out. But first things first, need to take care of business against a Laverne squad who they beat 63-50 earlier this season. Miley Nakaji, a game high, 25 points, her best showing of the season. They're expecting more from her, McKenna Nitao, and Layla Woods, those three-star juniors, to carry the load.
You know, I know it's senior night, you don't want to take the focus off of them, but you mentioned that 3 stars of the juniors that are truly one of the biggest triple threats when it comes to a team in the SCAG that we've seen all season. I mean, you talk about what Layla Woods has done, she's leading the conference in free throws, and McKenna Nitao, we talk about her, and we'll mention her radical return to injury from injury throughout this game.
Panthers get their defensive stalwart back in the lineup. She'll be coming off the bench, but Callie Kahala, that senior presence, always composed on both sides of the ball. And she'll be an X factor in this game as Maya Sanborn, standing at 6'2", sophomore out of Berea, California, came over from UC Merced. Her and Alyssa Smith, those twin towers, certainly going to be a lot to deal with for this Chapman front court.
Absolutely, and you look at Maya Sanborn, she's 3rd in the conference when it comes to blocking shots, 26 on the season. And both of these defense really have struggled. They're in the bottom 3 when it comes to overall points allowed this entire season. So for both of these teams, when it comes to playing defensively, it's going to come down to who's hungry, who wants it more. And again, Laverne has a chance to play spoiler. Chapman, they have everything to lose. It's going to be urgency, it's going to be aggressive, and it's going to be one of the most passionate games we've seen in the Hutton Sports Center all season.
The crowd has showed out in the jungle. Anthony Mason riling up his squad, trying to get another upset win against a team on the outside of the playoff picture, looking in. Panthers at 6-7 in the SCIAC, a 12-9 overall record, sit 1 game behind in the conference to Occidental, who pulled off a massive upset victory against CMS. The former 2 seed, I should say, but after Laverne beat Cal Lutheran, CMS now controls their own destiny for the 1 seed. As we get set here from the Hutton Sports Center, our officials, Vonda Anderson, Jesus Castro, and Warren Britton to officiate this game. As we'll get Maya Sanborn, Layla Woods, the top scorer for this Chapman squad, to tip it off. Ball is up. Laverne will get the first straw at blood as it goes into the hands of Isabella Gray-Musself. Junior transfer out of Cuesta College. First team All-League there for the past 2 years. Smith on the deck early. Progino spins into the lane, forced all the way out. The Panthers defense as of recent has been impeccable these past 2 games. A kick out to the corner and an early steal. Miley Nakaji always causing havoc in those passing lanes.
What did we say before the game started, Nico? The turnovers were going to be the key. And in a game like this, especially for Laverne, who wants to continue to be making upsets, can't make a mistake like that.
Woods always wants an early start. A handoff for Nakaji with 13 left to shoot. Here's Sherfy, the senior. Watanabe has had the hot hand as of recent. Has to shoot with 5, down to 4. Watanabe, a little bit of space off the back rim, and hauled down by Alyssa Smith. 10 rebounds a game, one of 3 players in the SCIAC to average a double-double this season.
Incredible work what she's done night in, night out. She's just a dog, and it's going to be the key to block her this entire game.
Gray-Musself puts in a 3. First blood goes to Laverne, and the upset alert already on high alert for these Panthers. Sherfy The feed inside, Woods fades, fires off the rim, rattles in, and the Panthers on the board. And that's how the Panthers love getting started. Layla Woods into a groove early.
It's just too easy. We see it time and time again. It can be anywhere on the court, no matter who's passing it. They get it to Layla. She turns around. She goes for a fadeaway, and it seems like a bucket almost every time.
Coming off a season high 24 points against Santa Cruz. Another tip out from Miley Nakaji. This defense has been stepping it up as of recently. A big reason why they were able to come back in that fourth quarter. Shooting 70% definitely helps. But as Carol Drew mentioned earlier today, 9 straight defensive stops, always going to help your case. Smith, no hesitation, rattles the rim, and it comes out for Trinity Barreto.
You know, it just feels like this Panthers team, you know, again, it's a fine line to walk between playing aggressively and playing desperately. They know what's at stake, but they're not going to play scared. They're not going to get too rattled because this team has a core, and they know what they're going to do.
Woods, another fade and fire. That one buoys out. Alyssa Smith with a quick 3 rebounds to begin this game. Gray Muscle. What a transfer she's been, coming in for Marissa Howell. Down to 10 left to shoot. Miley Nakaji took her lunch money, and it's a turnover going against Laverne, and that's just what she does.
Not afraid. They're just relentless. It really, at some point, it gets to a point when you're playing this team that you really are just left puzzled, asking yourself, what can you do when they're going to do that over and over and over again? And that's probably the first of many for Nakaji on the night.
The confidence that she's played with this junior season. Woods steps through, fades. Sanborn got a piece of it. 1 bucket, 2 misses for Layla Woods to begin this game. Full court press coming from Nitao and Nakaji. Nitao down on the deck. Watanabe up ahead of the play and smack down from behind. She'll get to the line. Jasmine Pergitno came in for the block. Also got some contact on the sophomore out of Irvine, and Kira Watanabe to the line for the first time tonight.
You know, Nico, that's a really underrated part of the game for the Chapman Panthers that not a lot of people talk about. And we saw, especially in that fourth quarter against Santa Cruz, they are really good at drawing at the fouls, and they know exactly how to do it. Watanabe at the charity stripe for 2 right here.
Kira Watanabe had a fantastic start to begin the SkyX season. Was a little bit cold within the middle of the year, but as of recent, pulled a little Shohei Ohtani, as Carol Drew described earlier. Went back to her old stomping grounds at Irvine High School, was able to get a few more of those extra shots, and guess what? These past 2 games, she has been flying 35 in these past 2. Pomona Pitzer, a big win that's turned around this Chapman season.
Hey, sometimes you need to look for an answer in places you wouldn't expect it. You mentioned that Shohei storyline. He was struggling, goes to take batting practice for the first time in years. What does he do in the next game out? Has the greatest performance we've ever seen.
Smith picks up her dribble. Gray Mussoff left on an island, fires away. And off the front rim, off the glass, and out. Natal plays with pace. No hesitation, Woods knocks it in. 6 unanswered from the Panthers, and here we go from Harold Hutton.
Talk about this defense really quickly, going back to that last missed 3. That is a part of Chapman's game that a lot of people love to talk about. They do a fantastic job of finishing the 3s. Look at their opponent's team 3-point percentage. Opponents are only shooting .288 from beyond the arc.
Felix crosses back inside. The inside feed, Layla Woods read it the entire way. 4 inches shorter than Maya Sanborn, no problem for the junior out of San Jose. Nitao throws it away straight into the hands of Pergitno. Up ahead, hey, Gray Muscle didn't have the finish. Smith fires away and connects. Alyssa Smith, 5'11", but don't be mistaken, 5th most 3-pointers made in the conference this season.
You know, you might look at that 3-point percentage, and it looks a little underwhelming, but again, like you mentioned, top 5 when it comes to 3-pointers on the season. Miley Nakaji, McKenna Nitao, some of the best 3-point players in the SkyX, but we're going up against another one for the Leopards.
Nitao, the cut inside, too much mustard, and corralled in by Maya Sanborn. The offense always runs through Alyssa Smith. 16 points a game, 2nd in the conference, just behind Kalu's Aline Ballard. Miley Nakaji once again causing havoc in the passing lanes. And a big round of applause for Callie Kahala coming back into the game. What a massive get back that is for a team trying to get into this playoff picture at this point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, getting one of your key players back, I mean, first of all, statistically, gotta love that. But also, again, emotionally, she's a senior trying to make this playoff push. They're gonna rely on her throughout the rest of this season.
Smith able to rattle in her second, and the Leopards lead by 3 here in the first. Quick 6 points for Alyssa Smith. All 3 of the Leopards' buckets coming off of the deep ball. Sharfie off the back rim. And a foul will be called down on the board as it's coming back the other way. An offensive foul goes against the senior out of Whittier.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sharfie, you're there. Again, you cannot let Laverne try to make up any ground right now. And again, I know it's only a 3-point game, but anytime Laverne has a lead in this game, they're going to use that as any momentum as they can, because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're trying to have their not worst record in 10 years since the 2016-17 season.
2-11 in the conference for Laverne. Only Caltech, still winless in the Sky this year, is below them. So far, they've come out swinging, and they're hitting the deep ball. Panthers riding high on the emotions of Senior Day. How do they settle into this game?
I think, again, you can't get lost in the emotions. You love the storyline, you know? Again, a senior coming back for senior night, the last home game. You love the feel-good, happy story of it. But if this game continues to get further, the feel-good, happy story of it becomes much, much less of a focus. You just got to play back to your roots. This team plays a very, very distinct brand of basketball. And if they can do that, get these players to complement every single person from every single angle, every single inch of this court, they're going to come back and they're going to win this game.
Was a 6-0 run for the Panthers. In turn, 2 quick triples from Alyssa Smith has it a 6-0 run for Laverne over the past 2 minutes. Win or go home game for the Panthers. They obviously still have 2 left, but they need to win out for their playoff dreams to stay alive after Occidental took down CMS last time out. Back in play with Gray Mussolf. Her and Alyssa Smith leading the way for this Leopard squad, both in their junior year. A swing out, no hesitation. For the first time, Alyssa Smith proves that she's human as Gemma Lockup into the game for the first time, pulls down the board. Sharfie. Nitao from the wing. Lockup hits the deck. Looks like a fight through the screen. McGuire Lennon be called for the foul. Second of this first quarter on the Leopards. Both teams doing a good job on the defensive side, staying disciplined.
And that's something that Chapman at points has struggled with throughout their season. I mean, in that first half against Santa Cruz, the fouls for their opponents just kept coming and coming and coming.
Here's Kira Watanabe, 15 points last game against UCSC. Lockup. Force back inside, Nitao, the cut inside. And Chapman back within 1. McKenna Nitao on the board for the first time today.
You know, there's a great article this past couple of weeks posted on athletics.chapman.edu about McKenna Nitao's return from that ACL tear. And Coach Carroll told her, you need to forget it and move on to the next play. And it seems to her, she's done that with flying colors this season.
What a return it's been. As the article described, a radical return. And she's certainly been fantastic ever since coming back. Here she is with it now. Foster City native in her junior season. Gets some breathing room, fires away. Almost called bank as it rattles in and out.
If you're the Panthers, you got to make sure, though, that's where you're going to make your opponents hurt. From the beyond the arc, because this team has great shooters from beyond the arc all up and down this roster.
This 3 there from Jada Felix. Offensive rebound and a second chance as Felix drives inside. A little English off the left hand and in.
You got to get those rebounds, Nika. You can't let Laverne get the second chances because it's going to wear out the Chapman defense pretty easily if they can continue to do that.
Nitao couldn't replicate. Laverne with an efficient start to begin this game, especially from beyond the arc, 3 of 6, shooting the deep ball. Nitao got her hands stuck in there, a foul called on the junior. Alyssa Smith always attracting the attention with her gravity when she has the ball.
I mean, not only does Alyssa Smith loom large with her stature, physically 5'11", again, arguably a top 2, and she's not number 2 player in the SCIAC. Her presence just looming large as far as just the emotion and knowing the threat that she is from every single space down on that court.
No Alyssa Smith in as she takes her first rest of the game. Can this be the Panthers' chance to strike with 2:10 left? Layla Woods gets into the passing lanes once again. Trinity Barreto doing all the dirty work and somehow flipped up and in. Jada Felix back-to-back buckets.
You gotta praise the Leopards on that, but again, for the Panthers, that is where you're gonna lose this game.
Nakaji knocks it down. Chapman finally able to strike from distance. And the SCIAC's three-point queen gets on the board for the first time today. The kick out for Felix. Missed everything. Still kept alive, but falling out of bounds. McGuire-Lennon unable to save that as Sherfy will come back in for Chapman. We'll also see Gray Mussolf come back in for Laverne. Anthony Mason now in his 3rd season at the helm of this Leopards program. Always trying to push the right buttons after winning the SCIAC in his first season with a 15-1 record, led behind an All-American performance from Kiara Brown. Woods floats it for Watanabe. A step back 3. Clanks off the rim. Trinity Barreto, second chance opportunity. Sherfy, the drive inside, and a charge comes back the other way.
You know, you talk about this Laverne's Leopards program. The 2020s might be the definition of a roller coaster. They started off hot, as you mentioned. They were one of the better teams in the SCIAC underneath Brown. Since her departure, again, Alyssa Smith has rose up to the challenge and stepped up to it. It's just who else on this roster is going to step alongside with her?
Sherfy went for the shuffle. Unfortunately for her, got tied between 2 Leopards players. Nakaji back on the deck. How influential has she been all game long in this first quarter in the passing lanes? Barreto breaks it down. Nakaji gets to her spot, puts it in. It's pure from Miley Nakaji.
I mean, you said it best, Nico. She's the queen of threes. Again, you cannot leave her open for, it feels like a millisecond, because she's going to go out there, and it's bucket after bucket after bucket.
Gray Muscle kicks it to the corner. Here's Zaria Gomez. Sanborn couldn't corral it in with the left hand. And it's another turnover against Laverne. Make it their 5th already of the quarter.
That's just not how you win games, Nico. And senior night's always going to be an electric night. Certainly feels like this Chapman Panthers crowd is coming alive a little bit more. They're back in the lead. They're certainly starting to feel like themselves as we go throughout the quarters of this one.
Shot clock gone dark for Layla Woods. The cross on Sanborn. Steps back. Woods off the front rim. Dives to the deck. And a jump ball with 0.1 seconds left. Chapman up 14-13 here at the end of 1. As Laverne, what can you really do with this amount of time on the clock, Mike?
I mean, you got to hope and pray.
Good answer. Good answer. Chapman leads by 1 here against Laverne. Chapman doing a good job of finding their continuity to end the first quarter. We'll step aside here from the Harold Hutton Sports Center. You're watching CSBN on Flow Sports. Panthers up by 1 at the end of one, 14-13 the score here in Orange. Nico Schwegler alongside Michael Herrera. Senior Day here from the Harold Hutton Sports Center. 3 seniors being celebrated in the pregame. Trinity Barreto, Callie Kahala, and Aiden Sherfy. Just what an accomplishment it's been. Staying here for all 4 years, such a rare thing to see in the modern college era.
Without a doubt. I mean, and you talk about just the team, the community of it all. Coach Carroll, one of the most winningest coach in Chapman history. They see her as a mother, this entire team. Just a great family to be around.
Both Sherfy and Barreto out there for the Panthers alongside Watanabe, Woods, and Nakaji, who led the way with 2 triples in that first quarter. She eyes up another. Swarmed by Leopards. Here's Sherfy with 8 left to shoot. Takes a look at the shot clock. Woods spins, fades. It's denied by Sanborn. And a foul down on the floor as Barreto came in for the second chance. Woods with a quick start to begin the game, but ever since, Sanborn giving her some problems down on the block.
I think for the Verne Leopards team, one of the biggest keys to them is going to be, okay, if someone gets hot, we got to put everyone on them. But that's going to leave another Panther open, and they're going to be on the prowl every single time.
Nakaji. Woods with 8 left to shoot. Gets around Sanborn. This time, the way of Woods works.
A little bit of a sidearm, one-handed shot there, but just her power, her ability to get in there and just fight off everyone around her. Talk about relentless.
Smith. Hounded by 2 Panthers. Gets all the way into the lane, and a foul called all the way from the backside by Jesus Castro. Alyssa Smith, 2 triples in that first quarter. Gets the line for the first time tonight. About 65% from the charity stripe this season for the star junior out of Spanaway, Washington. Rattles out the first, and it's a rare miss for a player of her caliber.
Rare miss, exactly right, Nico. And Laverne, if you're a Leopard here, you got to be taking advantage of these opportunities that the Panthers give you, especially if the Panthers continue to do great from beyond the arc and get in right under the net, like Lily Wood just did on the last play.
Sherfy. Watanabe, no hesitation. And an offensive foul against Barreto. Negates the shot, didn't go in either way. That's already 2 in the first minute 15 of this second quarter on Chapman.
Yeah, I mean, you understand the the aggression, the passion, the emotion, obviously, in playing in your final home game. And of course, in a home game, that's win or go home. But again, you can't let Laverne, you can't give him the easy way out.
We've seen it time and time again. Little mistakes compounding against the Panthers for the Panthers all season long. Progino had it taken away, and Kira Watanabe cannot believe her luck. And they're also going to call this a shooting foul, so Jasmine Progino, excuse me, it looked like they were going to shoot 2.
Watanabe and Nakaji down there with the ref looked like they saw a ghost when that foul was called.
Carol Drew besides herself. No hesitation, great muscle, puts it in. A big bonus slam bucket. Ties the game up. Woods, back to her game, straight into the chest. Sanborn says not today, down on the block. It's a 5-on-4, Nakaji does well.
You know, Nico, this matchup that we're seeing with Sanborn and Woods really reminds me of the game we called a couple months ago when it was Pomona Pitzer and Chapman. Rubel against Woods. Something had to give, and for Woods, something has to change with her mindset, because right now Sanborn is all over her.
Gray muscle. And interface from McKenna Nitao. A lob up and over for Progino. Aggressive defense from Watanabe nearly took it away. And an offensive foul, Kira Watanabe, the remedy on the defensive end.
Looking all over that court, and immediately within seconds that Watanabe went down, Kahalo shouted and pointed that it was their ball, and it is Watanabe with the ball now, and you got to take control. You got to start gaining this lead and gaining a deficit for the Leopards.
Nothing Jada Felix could do there but smile after. Nitao, Nakaji, straightaway three, bottoms! Three for three to begin the game for Miley Nakaji.
I mean, a hat trick. We're not even in the second half, Nico.
Felix. Smith. Nearly stripped away by Gemma Lockup. The sophomore out of San Francisco put in on the clamps. Ball's still with Laverne. As they trail by 3 here in this second quarter, 6:56 left to go in the first half. Felix, 6 left to shoot. Smith. Lockup has her in a straitjacket, had to force it up, nowhere near. Shot clock violation, and the defense has certainly upped the ante in this building.
I said it in the pregame, Nico. It's going to come down to which defense wants it more. It's a place where both teams have struggled with throughout the season, and right there, just being relentless, not letting them take one shot off. And hey, if you're going to let the time run down, might as well not let the Leopards score. Keep your lead while you're at it.
Panthers 3 for 4 on their last 4 trips. Here's Nitao. Woods, handoff, Nitao off the glass, couldn't kiss it in. Full court press in full effect, they get it up ahead. Now Sanborn ahead of the play, rushed the shot. It was perfect until it wasn't. Woods, good closeout from Sanborn. Woods beats her anyway.
Woods needed to be searching for an answer against Sanborn. Looking like she's found some more momentum. She gets the rebound, comes all the way across court. She gets another bucket.
Smith blows by Woods all the way off the glass. Doesn't have the touch in the end. 2 blown buckets from close range for Laverne. Nakaji, it's a warm-up 3. Yes, sir!
I mean, at some point, if you're the Leopards, you either got to get it together or you got to bow down, because it looks like Nakaji is nowhere near off her game. She's looking unstoppable right now on the court.
Anthony Mason needs timeout. This building is rocking. 13-3 run for Chapman as they lead 24-16. We'll take it downstairs to Kaylee-Ann Milbourne, who's got some more.
It's been a really tight game so far, but we're looking and seeing the Panthers ahead 24-16 to Laverne. In particular, number 23, Meili Nakaji on the Panthers just got a great point for Chapman. I'm so excited to see how the rest of the game plays out.
Nakaji, as you just mentioned, Kaylee-Ann, 4 for 4 from downtown. Just an absolute flamethrower. You pair her with Kira Watanabe, those two lead the SCIAC in 3-pointers made. When they're hot, this team, very difficult to beat.
You mentioned Nakaji being the queen of 3-pointers, and you mentioned it right now. Guess who's right behind her? Her teammate, Kira Watanabe. I mean, they're just unstoppable, this duo, and they can be on their game as long as they can if the Laverne Leopards defense isn't going to step up and block them, because it's kind of really just a puzzle match of who do you block, because you block Watanabe, Nakaji's open. You block Nakaji, maybe Rayla Wood steps up, or someone else on this roster steps up, and that is the chess game and the chess master that Carol Zhu, and she can do time and time again.
Miley Nakaji, 25 points on 5 threes, had 6 steals against Laverne in their first matchup this season. Already on pace with 12 points, 4 for 4 from distance. And these Panthers trying to give the home crowd something to celebrate as they send it off for the 2025-26 season. 2 more road games coming up for these Panthers. Carol Ju knows that this team is hitting their stride at just the right moment. But they'll have more work to do going to Los Angeles against Occidental on Wednesday. First things first, need to stop Gray Musself and company here at home. Gray Musself shuffles. Another foul taken. That's the first on lockup. Sophomore out of San Francisco getting down on the dirty work on the defensive end.
And that's been a pretty good part of Gemma Lockup's game. She does have 23 personals on the season, but that is over 350 minutes at least on the season. That's a pretty good part of her game, or the fouls. You don't really expect it coming from number 24.
Straightaway 3, top of the key, puts it in. Kaylee Shimoda. It's rained in triples here in Orange.
I mean, you look at Kaylee Shimoda, she has a higher three-point percentage than the star Alyssa Smith. Threats up and down both of these rosters when it comes to beyond the arc.
It's money from McKenna, and the Panthers back up by 8 here in the second quarter.
If you're the Leopards, it feels like their defense is just a little bit disjointed. It feels like they're all over the place right now. They got to come together as a unified group. Okay, we're going to block here, we can block there. Something needs to come together, because this puzzle has a few pieces missing.
If there's one piece of the puzzle that's been always consistent, it's been Alyssa Smith who gets the bucket there. Chapman now 5 for 7, shooting the deep ball in this one. Nitao with 8 left to shoot. Weaves, now fires and hits. McKenna Magic working that magic once again. That ball nearly taken away by Kira Watanabe. The entire bench of Chapman. It's infectious when this team is playing good defense.
Absolutely. I mean, again, defense, this team has had its up and downs, and that's kind of been their Achilles heel at times. And over the past, like you mentioned, they're hitting the stride not only offensively, on the defensive side of things. I know it's only an 8-point game. Anything can still happen here with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. This is some of the best defensive brand of basketball we've seen the Chapman Panthers team play in a hot minute.
Carol Ju always mentions it. Those 3 years where they won the SCIAC title back to back to back from 2016 to 2018 was Coach of the Year. It was always defense, defense, defense. That's what led them through. And so far, it's showing out to close out this 2026 year. Stop and start. Nakaji, it's nifty, and she's cooking so far in the first half.
I mean, it's grease lightning down there on the court. She's automatic. She's hydromatic.
The Leopards looking for a gasp of air. Alyssa Smith doesn't have the answer. Barreto blazes past her, the senior, on the board for the first time today. It's a double-digit lead. Panthers up by 12.
I mean, talk about taking it to the bank and depositing it. She took it, ran with it. One of the easier buckets of the game.
I think we like to call that a little highway robbery around these parts. Smith simply got pushed over by Layla Woods. That'll stop the bleeding for now as the Leopards get into the bonus with 2:22 left. But a 6-0 run for the Panthers. It feels like they just controlled this second quarter in every aspect of the game.
We talk about dominance. We talk about this Chapman Panthers team has played a lot of good games. And we just saw in this game beforehand, the men's basketball game, Laverne almost beat the Chapman Panthers. Anything can happen towards the end of the season. So for Chapman, you don't want to get complacent. You want to keep playing at your dominant level. Certainly doing so here. 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Smith splits the pair. A rifle up ahead for Barreto. Nitao shoots out of a cannon, works inside. And Gray Musself able to corral it in. Fast-paced game here in orange. Panthers love to go quickly. Leopards trying to match with their pace. Final 2 minutes. Straight away three, Shimoda. That ball went dark. Minute 49 left. Panthers doing it on both sides of the ball. If you're Laverne, how do you find something that makes this a little bit more interesting heading into the locker room?
I think you just got to compose yourself a little bit. On that three there, that might just be my opinion, but the three looked a little bit desperate. There could have been a little bit more room, to wiggle room there, maybe to go up for a layup, maybe get closer, find a better lane for the three. But you got to go back to the basics. Get back in that paint, make the layups, just do whatever you can to make this lead any smaller, because you can't just be trying to go for the kill every single time.
Anthony Mason trying to push all the right buttons to close out this second quarter. That one crawls the rim from McKenna Nitao. Smith leads the way with 10 so far. Gray Musself fires away, off front rim. Smith in there for the board. Layla Woods, a commanding rebound in the end. Nakaji from the backdoor slip. Woods at her spot. It's pure. Layla Woods once again.
We talk about doing it on both sides of the ball. Talk about Layla Woods, again, one of the best field goal shooters of this team. She's also one of the best rebounders of this team and in the SCIAC.
Nitao pushes pace. Final 40 seconds of this first half. It's been commanding in this second quarter from the Panthers, 21-9. Down to 8 left on the shot clock. Barreto got bumped. 24.6 left on the shot clock, 6 left on the game clock. Watanabe, another one of those flamethrowers, second in the conference in three-pointers made. Only 2 points so far, both coming from the line. Carol Drew hoping that she can get her going with a late first half bucket. It's been Nakaji's night so far. 4-second separate shot clock and game clock for Kira Watanabe. Nitao clears out for herself. McKenna off the baseline. Watanabe didn't see the shot clock. And the Panthers turn it over without a shot to end out their first half.
The Leopards taking a page out of the Panthers' book. We saw them do the exact same thing to the Leopards earlier on in this half, and now the Leopards hoping for a buzzer beater.
Has to heave. We did see a buzzer beater at the end of the first half in the men's game. Unfortunately for Laverne, cannot replicate the same result. They lose the second quarter 21-9 after being down by just 1 at the end of the first. Panthers just dominant so far in this second frame.
Without a doubt, I mean, talk about dominance. They've had a great offensive game, but again, it's the defensive part where they've really excelled. Because you look at this Laverne offense, again, they're not playing the greatest brand of basketball, but they've done a pretty good job. Only a 40% field goal percentage, a 33% three-point percentage. But again, it's the defense. You look at the total rebounds, they're tied. It's just really just the feel of what we said, the turnovers.
Panthers lead by 13. Miley Nakaji leads the way. Perfect from the field at 4 for 4 from downtown. 12 points for her. Woods also with 10. Alyssa Smith in the double figures as well for Laverne. And Carol Drew knew that she needed to have this team locked in heading into this game. Everything seems to be clicking for them. And Carol Drew, certainly three-time Coach of the Year, has this team cooking. As we send it down to Kaylee Ann Milborn.
With coach of the Chapman Panthers, Carol Drew. Now, I know tonight is a senior celebration, so I wanted to ask you a few questions about that. First, how has it been watching these seniors progress from the start of their Chapman career to now?
Oh, it's been a pleasure watching them. They've grown up so much, up and down the court and in the classroom. They were like little girls, now they're women.
That is wonderful to hear. And I also wanted to ask, what will you miss most from this particular group of seniors?
The quality of people they are. They knew their place as freshmen, and after that, they became the leaders of the team and took it to a higher standard.
That's awesome. And my last question is, what will you keep telling your team to motivate them in this next half?
We got to keep getting stops, getting defensive stops. The rebound, got to get the rebound, otherwise it's not a stop. We got to put them in that place where you see how hard we're playing defense, and the harder we play defense, it's making them taking harder shots.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I can't wait to see the rest of this game, so thank you, and back up to the booth.
Carol Ju always has the right answers. Kaylee-Ann Milbourne always supplying the information. Anthony Mason trying to get this Laverne squad back into the fray as we take a look at these first half highlights, Mike. So far in this game, Laverne came out with a punch, but ever since, it's been Miley Nakaji and these Panthers who bitten back.
I mean, that's the beauty of some of these sports here, where again, you can get a punch, get a counter punch. It's how you recover from those, because counter punches are inevitable. I mean, look at this stat. Look at just the highlights here. Woods, automatic. You cannot let the Panthers just be as poised as they have been this entire game.
Laverne, it looked like they were on track for another upset with the way they performed in that first quarter. Able to keep things close, but Miley Nakaji broke it open. Kira Watanabe trying to cook up a storm, and this crowd trying to go into the postseason, the final home game for these Chapman Panthers, coming here to celebrate these seniors on Senior Day. And my goodness, what a game we have in our hands. Panthers trying to go into the second half with one thing on their mind, trying to focus on that game against Occidental, currently up by 13 against Laverne. And to celebrate those seniors, we got a little special something for you coming up in just a moment. Our very own Cole Miller, as well as myself, able to speak with Trinity Barreto, Callie Kahala, and Aiden Sherfy this past week about their journeys over the past 4 years. And once again, we have to mention it, just being at this program for the last 4 years, all the transfers that you see, especially at the Division I, even at the Division II and Division III levels, so impressive once again. As we'll go over to that package, Trinity Barreto, Aiden Sherfy, and Callie Kahala for all you folks at home.
Yeah, no, it really just has been a family, and we're here for like 180 days, and then we're spending time with each other like even outside of that. And so we've just gotten so close, like us three especially, and then of course like adding on the juniors and just our squad this year. It's just been really great.
I think back to my freshman year. I came into Chapman as a health science major, which I loved, but I realized I started to get burnt out really easily, and I went to coach. She recommended me to try out strategic and corporate communication, which has been my major for the last 3 years, and I've loved it ever since. And so I give her props for helping me get on that path. She's driven me home from practices. She's just always there. She's always available for us, no matter what time of day. And I think that just really speaks to her character. On the court, very intense, wants to push us, wants us to be better, but in the end, it's for a good reason. And yeah, this is a coach that will not just be for the 4 years we're here, but probably for our lifetime.
Since pretty much freshman year, I feel like we've all just had a tight bond. I mean, me and Callie, we lived in the same area when it came to the dorm setting freshman year, so we kind of were each other's companions when it came to that. And then being able to see the journey of having 7 seniors to having just 2 seniors, to having no seniors last year, to us being the seniors, I feel like Coach really values our input and what we see, because we got to experience so much of Chapman women's basketball. I feel like we have just kind of seen the highs and lows of everything, and I feel like she just really genuinely like takes our input into account, and especially because we are tight-knitted, I feel like, I don't know the last time I ever thought about putting hands on that. I'm just kidding. But I feel like we've never really had a disagreement where we weren't able to find like a consensus with each other, or just like talk about it with like each other or with coach. So it's been, y'all are my best friends for real. Aww.
It was us three to start and it's us three to finish, and so I think there's just something really special in that, and you know, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. So.
Panthers lead 35-22 here at the Harold Hutton Sports Center. Good to be with you. Nico Schwegler alongside Michael Herrera, Kaylee-Ann Milborn down on the sidelines. Anthony Mason trying to get this Leopard squad back in shape. Down by 13. And Mike, in that first half, it was dominance, particularly in that second quarter from the Panthers, and those turnovers fueling the way on defense into offense.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the turnovers. Laverne has the turnover the ball 10 times compared to Chapman's 4. And you look at the steals, 7 steals for Chapman, 2 for Laverne. It just goes back to what we talked about pregame, Nico, about, you know, Chapman knows how to punish their opponents and make those turnovers count. So if you're Laverne, if those turnovers can continue to happen, you at least have to have that defense shaping up. Something has got to give.
Will Cupid's arrows strike Laverne for an upset victory? Happy Valentine's Day from all of us to you here at CSBN. Alyssa Smith, a straightaway triple, puts it in. 10 points in the first. She gets a triple to go down, up to 13 on the game.
And that's where we saw her towards the end of that second half. She kind of quieted down. Chapman did a really good job of defending her. She can wake up. It'd be huge for the Leopards.
Sherfy's response 3 buoys in and out, down to a 10-point game after the Smith triple. Great muscle, bumped off by Nakaji. Smith fires away once again off the left rim. A second chance for her. Gray Muscle, the blow by with the left hand, too much mustard. And it ricochets off Chapman, a third chance for Anthony Mason's squad. Carol Jew mentioning throughout the week, throughout this season, just how important rebounds and getting those defensive stops have been.
Absolutely, and I think that one of the key things because of that has just been the fatigue. We saw fatigue be one of the Achilles heel for the Chapman Panthers team, and that's how you're going to wear out this defense that has been lights out this game.
Bruno says, look what I found, all the way up and in, puts it up, and the Panthers back up by a dozen. Barreto with her second bucket of the game, Aiden Sherfy, Kali Kahala. Her 2 fellow seniors still looking for their first points in this one. Smith has the hook shot up and in. A little floater on the run. Ludwig ahead of the pack, somehow comes away with it. Nakaji was a perfect 4 for 4 from deep in that first half. Woods caught in a bind. Here's Ludwig. Panthers a stagnant offense on this possession. The lunging layup does not go. Watanabe all alone. Missed everything. You will not see that very often from Kira Watanabe.
I mean, absolutely. She's automatic when it comes to the three-pointers, excuse me. And Chapman just being relentless. They're just toying with Laverne at this point.
Yet another offensive opportunity for Chapman. Nakaji steps through off the glass. She has the touch today. 14 points for Miley Nakaji.
I mean, talk about making an error, and you just mentioned it, almost speaking it into existence. They needed to get the rebounds. Certainly did there on the 4th chance. Finally able to break through.
Great muscle, backs down, off the glass. Sanborn there to collect. Outside of Smith, who else can get going for Laverne in this second half? Nakaji's been everywhere so far in this one, and she earns another turnover. The Panthers everywhere in the passing lanes on defense.
The Leopards just look a little starstruck. I mean, you can't let this game be lost because you just lose your hands on the ball, as we see what happened right there. Watanabe, heavy pressure, and then Nakaji just getting her hand in it, being at the right place at the right time.
Make it 8 steals for Carol Jew's squad, 11 turnovers now for Laverne. We mentioned it in the pre-show, just how good Chapman has been on the offensive end, not giving the ball away, and then when they do get the turnovers on the defensive side, turning it into big-time offense, 18 points off turnovers for the Panthers this season. A foul on the baseline goes against Alyssa Smith. That'll be her second of the game here in the third. Woods back into the game for Emerson Ludwig, who provided some size, 6'2" sophomore out of Washington State. Going against Sanborn, also 6'2". Here's lockup. Woods works her way inside, a travel, goes against the junior from San Jose.
For Laverne there, you got to be thanking the basketball gods for that one. Get a little bit of a refresher, breath of fresh air there, but I mean, they got to figure out something. You saw them trying to steal the ball away. If they're trying to take a page of Chapman's book, well, if you're going to do that, you need to be successful.
Gray Muscle, no hesitation, puts it in again. Her second deep ball of the game. And a timeout taken by Carol Jew. Leopards end their 2-minute scoreless streak off of that deep ball from Isabella Gray Muscle. And the comeback still well within reach for Laverne if they're able to string a few stops together, like Carol Jew has said so many times before for Chapman, and ultimately able to convert on the offensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what it comes down to, especially if you're looking at, again, head coach Anthony Mason, if you're looking at the game plan for him, I think it's really simple. Again, you look at the points right now, Alyssa Smith with 15, you know that she's automatic. Look at the rest of that roster. The next highest point total is 8. Isabella Gray Molsoff having a great game, but it's really about who's going to be the people to step along, who's going to be able to step up and help Smith out. If no one can do that, it's going to be an easy path to a loss. But if they can get people to come in, come out, and show out, it could be a momentous comeback for the Leopards.
Anthony Mason with intention in those eyes. McKenna Nitao, Layla Woods. Both have made all-conference teams in their first 2 years with the Panthers. It's a win or watch the postseason fade away type of game for the Panthers. 3 games left in the season. Currently the 6th seed in the SCIAC. We'll call a foul down on the floor as Sherfy hit the deck. This one goes against McGuire Lennon. That'll be Lennon's 3rd of the game so far. Carol Jew, year 23 for her, one of the longest tenured coaches within the SCIAC. So much respect that she's garnered over the course of her career. And as we've mentioned time and time again in this broadcast, all of her players, almost like a second mother for all of them, not just at their time in Chapman, but also well beyond.
I mean, you saw it in that package, and you saw it with the interview with Coach Carroll. It's just such a tight-knit group, a true family there. And they are going to fight for each other to the last second, to the last game. And we're going to see it in their most intense stretch of the season.
Watanabe, 6 to shoot. Misses once again. Woods from the elbow.
Nico, we saw that foul there on McGuire Lennon. Only 286 minutes on the season. One of the Leopards with not a lot of minutes on the season. She's the 3rd highest amount of fouls on the Leopards team.
The Leopards moneymaker Alyssa Smith, yet another triple, and it's down to a 6-point game here in Orange. Woods fades, fires, does not hit. Alyssa Smith, 7 rebounds already in this game, 15 points to go along with it. Other hand into the passing lanes, a fortunate bounce, an inside feed, Alyssa Smith, playmaker, and McGuire Lennon the beneficiary that time.
The defense definitely looks a little bit more put together. I mean, that was a perfect just deception right there, drawing out Smith to get it to Lennon, who was left defenseless for an easy 2 points.
Foul called within the paint. We'll see if this one is on McGuire Lennon. That would be her 4th if it is. Indeed it is so. Carol Jew calling out commands, always one of the most vocal people within the gym. You'll always hear her voice, and it's certainly one that resonates with her players.
Absolutely. Talking about coach's voices, I mean, when that foul was called, you could hear Coach Mason there yelling at Lennon. You cannot let the fouls continue to pile up, because that is an easy way to lose this game.
The mistakes starting to pile up for the Panthers on the offensive end, only with a 4-point lead. Gomez. Inside, Kali Kahala. Back in the lineup once again after a 2-month hiatus with injury. Watanabe. Nakaji, no hesitation. For the first time today, she doesn't knock it in.
It's just Panthers team. Not on the game right now, we saw Woods miss a shot. It's not often you see Nakaji miss a shot from deep.
And from the backside, McKenna Tao will get called for the foul. Carol Jew asking for an explanation. Anthony Mason so far has to be pleased with the way that his team has responded in this third quarter. Leopards 13-4 outscoring the Panthers here in the third frame.
Now locker room talk certainly had to have helped. If it was, I don't know if the approach was killing with kindness or yell, be relentless, but again, it certainly worked. And if you're the Panthers, again, on paper, coming into this game, you were heavy favorites, but that does not give you room to be complacent. And again, you're winning this game right now. Like, Laverne's playing a great game up to this point in this quarter. For Chapman, you have to remember, it's win or go home time. This is not a chance, not a time to get complacent and to make these mistakes. You got to stay on your game.
Nidal looked like she had a decent case for coming away with that ball clean. 8-0 run over the past 3.5 minutes for Laverne. If you are the Panthers, how do you find any sort of offensive rhythm to close up this final 4:10 in the third frame?
I mean, I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said to the Leopards at the end of that first half. Take it back to the roots. You don't gotta get too fancy. If you're gonna get too fancy, that's just an easy way to lose points, to lose time that you can have building your lead. Get Layla Woods back under the paint. Make trick plays. Draw their defense out, because this really, at this point, has become a battle of the defenses. Both offenses doing a pretty good job so far. It's really just gonna be who on the defensive side is gonna be more hungry for this win.
Virgino putting a straitjacket in the corner. Smith, the kick out. Gomez, a quick first step. A little bit of English. Smith, the offensive board, gets back to the line. Will be just the third trip for Laverne to the charity stripe today. Chapman has only been to the foul line one time today, 2 for 2, coming off the hands of Kira Watanabe.
Laverne here, an easy opportunity as we get some subs in. Woods and Sharif back in the game now. And that's what Coach Carroll really likes, to get some subs in during their trips to the charity stripe. But again, for Laverne now, with a chance to make this a one bucket game.
Smith does just that. 4th all-time on the rebounds list for Laverne. She splits the pair once again. Aiden Sherfy in a heated battle for the board. And it's coming Chapman's way after the missed free throw from Alyssa Smith. Just how good has she been over the course of her career, and having one of her best games against the Panthers within her 6 career games prior to this. Averaged just 10-7 against Chapman in 5 career games.
I mean, to hear the Panthers, you knew you had to draw up a game plan that was, what are we gonna do with Alyssa Smith? And it's allowed players like Mulsoff to kind of step up her game a little bit and draw them out. But for Smith, kind of again, this Laverne Leopards team has nothing to lose. All they got in their minds, let's go 1-0 each game. Let's play spoiler if we can. They have a chance to do so, and what could be an incredible comeback for the Leopards.
Off a big win against Cal Lutheran, who prior to that had a 7-game win streak. Banked in! The deposit from Alyssa Smith. She's got 22.
How quickly this game has turned upside down, really in the blink of an eye. I mean, I know we're 7 minutes in this quarter already, but Laverne, talk about Chapman being dominant. It really feels like Laverne has put their pedal to the metal. They haven't taken their foot off the gas at any single second in this quarter.
Third chance opportunity for Nakaji. Gets all the way to the cup, and you get it to your hand, and that's exactly how Chapman retakes the lead.
What did I say, Nico? Don't get too fancy. Sometimes it really all you need is a layup to get the fire started back up again. Nakaji not going to her normal beyond the arc shot, goes up, takes the lane, finds the lead once more.
Smith gets hacked down once again, this time by Gemma Lockup. Not a single true big out there for the Panthers, and as I say that, Aiden Sherfy and Layla Woods back into the game. Alyssa Smith, 22 points, over half the points for Laverne in this game, and it seems like nobody for Chapman can get even a hand on her.
It's like what we saw vice versa with the Leopards and Akaji in that first quarter, in that first half, really. It's just, you got to find a solution. You can't allow the rest of this defense to shapen up and draw plays to draw out the Panthers where Smith can just excel.
Free throw's been the one off mark for Smith so far today. Make it 4 for 8 from the line for the junior out of Spanaway, Washington. Panthers lead by 1. They were up by 13 at the end of the first half. Sherfy does what she does best, getting back to the line. And for the first time today, the senior on her senior day has a chance to get on the score sheet.
I mean, Sherfy, one of the most prolific free throw shooters we've seen in recent history when it comes to the Chapman Panthers team. And again, you don't want to get too fancy. Well, we'll take a foul. We'll take maybe a guaranteed 2 points from the free throw line. I was just here drawing out that foul.
Sherfy rattles in the first, 61% from the line this season. Historically been one of the most clutch, reliable players for Carol Drew's squad ever since her arrival here in Orange. She splits the pair. Panthers only up by 2 with 2:30 left in the third. Progino give it a knock on the bottom of the backboard. Nakaji races back the other way. Nitao. Handoff with Lockup. Nitao spins, fades, fires. And batted out. Can she keep it in? She walks the tightrope, and it's coming back the other way for Laverne.
The Laverne Leopard sideline, not as hype as we've seen the Chapman Panthers be, but it certainly feels like the juices, the energies, the vibes are flowing for that sideline again, now in a one-bucket game.
Kick out to the corner, Felix. With a clear out for her own, forced out, Smith from the wing. Finally shows she's human. Felix down on the deck. Still no call, and finally a travel will go against Laverne. Anthony Mason cannot believe the call. Trying to rile up his team, who fought back so vigilantly in this third quarter, 18-7 in favor of Laverne here in this third.
I mean, that's just with the points. Look at the other stats. I mean, there's still mats for rebounds, but when it comes to the steals and the turnovers, Laverne certainly 4 to 5. They're down 1, but doing a much better job of it this time around.
Woods, a bump. Off the right rim and out.
And that's just great defense from the Leopards right there, Nico. You got to get Woods off her game, off her rocker just a little bit, and maybe a little push is what they need.
Layla Woods, culprit of the crime that time, as Alyssa Smith has had her way in this third quarter. 23 points, 7 to 12 shooting from the field. Probably most importantly, spurring on this comeback, 5 threes, including 3 here in this second half. She's face-to-face with Chapman's best perimeter defender. Kahala blows by her. It's 25 for Alyssa Smith.
Nico, that ties a season high that she had earlier this season against CMS. That was in December. She is playing some of the best basketball we've seen her play this entire season.
Kahala gets caught walking. A tied game in Orange, and the tide is turning in favor of green and orange.
I mean, if you're Coach Carroll, you're understandably upset about that. You can't let the simple mistakes be the reason you lose games. We said it for Laverne in this first half. Now it's to their counterpart Chapman. You can't let fouls, you can't let stepping out of bounds, can't let simple violations be the reason why you let Laverne come back with an historic upset.
Brigino, corner pocket. Can't knock it in. Jada Felix. Hustle on the offensive glass. Gray Musself will reset for Laverne. Gray Musself, the kick out. Brigino, corner once again. Doesn't have it. Jada Felix once more. No shot clock as Laverne a chance to head into the fourth, up by a bucket. Gomez puts one up, misses everything. Lockup has to go. They won't even get a shot up. 20-7 quarter. Anthony Mason has this team dialed in. The Panthers, a loss today, ends their postseason dreams as we're tied heading into the fourth quarter. We'll step aside here from Orange. Don't go anywhere. Must-see finish coming up on CSBN. Some stunned faces on that Chapman sideline, up by 13 entering this second half. It's a tied game entering the fourth. Nico Schwegler alongside Michael Herrera. How do you close out in a must-win game like this for the final home game of the year?
I think in that huddle, if you're coach, if you're anyone on that sideline, you just got to take the biggest deep breath of the season and say, you know who you are, you know who you can be. This is your final home game. You got to make this count, and you got to punch your ticket in any way possible.
Felix was there in that third quarter. Forced out for Alyssa Smith. Straightaway three. And misses everything. That's Kaylee Shimoda. Offensive rebound for Alyssa Smith. Sanborn on the block. Laverne leads here in the fourth.
Talk about resilience, Nico. They are not going to back down. They do not care that they're eliminated. They do not care that they have the second worst record in the SCAC. They're going to play the best basketball that they can.
Aiden Sherfy, surefire, ties it up here in the fourth.
Nico, both of these teams seemingly over the past couple minutes or so coming out of that quarter two, they're going for the kill. They got to just get points on the board. It's the tight game right now. You can't be trying to go for the dagger in this spot.
Brigino, no. And Aiden Sherfy intercepts. Panthers have numbers going forward. Woods from the backside. Rises off the glass. Give it a little kiss in. It's trademark Layla Woods.
Woods gone quiet there a little bit, dormant, wondering if she was going to explode. She's back. If they can get her into a little bit of a groove, keep her getting points in the paint, that's all she wrote. But again, that's a big if this Laverne's defense keeps stepping up.
Offensive foul, Maya Sanborn. A little overly physical with Aiden Sherfy. And the senior, once again, proving her worth on the defensive side. Anthony Mason trying to plead his case. So we'll go down to our very own Kaylee Ann Milbourne, who has a little update from the sidelines.
All right, things are tensing up right now on the court with Chapman only leading by 2 points. Both teams have really missed some goals here, but are picking up the pace right now. It's going to be a really tight game for this fourth quarter.
Anymore, Kaylee Ann. Carol Jew knows what's at stake for her team. A win today keeps their postseason dreams alive. Redlands in a back-and-forth battle with Occidental, who currently holds the 5 seed. Panthers Tigers in Los Angeles on Wednesday could decide who gets that final spot in the SCIAC tournament. Felix Progitno, corner pocket, missed it all. Gray Mussolf, once again an air ball. Laverne just chucking up shots now at the end of the shot clock. And Aiden Sherfy finally able to slow things down.
There was just no rhyme or rhythm towards the end of that play. It just really seemed a lot of desperation, a lot of, can we do something? And, maybe one of those shots goes through, but none of them did. And you can't let the desperate plays continue to pile on.
Bit of a mental error there from Kaylee Shimoda. Air ball from Layla Woods. Picked it up, and now it's a Chapman second chance instead of Laverne coming back the other way. Watanabe, only 2 points so far today after 15 last game. I think that's the 5th straight air ball that we've seen in the past 2 minutes from both these teams.
Yeah, both these teams looking a little gassed, Nico. They got to come back to their roots. They got to come back to who these teams are as individual players. Something's got to give for one of these teams.
Watanabe gets into the passing lanes, picked up by Shimoda in the backcourt. Gray Mussolf weaves, carves, and off the front rim and out. It was nearly perfection from the junior transfer. 6.5 remaining in this one. Panthers up by 2. Foul called on Isabella Gray Mussolf. And Anthony Mason, after all those years, learning from one of the best in the business, Kristen Dowling, now the head coach at Whittier, dominant in the SCIAC at CMS for all those years, went over to Vassar College, went 30-6 in the conference for Vassar out in New York, comes back to the SCIAC here with Laverne, and he has a chance, while his team may be out of the tournament, to pull off 2 straight massive upsets. Currently down by 2. How did they do it?
They just got to stick true to who they are. I mean, you look at the quotes after last game that Mason had. He said, quote, "Every day we've been getting better. Every day he is so proud of this team, and it just shows their hard work." And they are showing their hard work again. They're not playing for a SCIAC tournament spot. They're not playing for a chance at a tournament title this season. They're playing at a chance for fun, for their seniors. They're playing for their respect. They're playing for heart, and they have nothing to lose. And like I said at the beginning of the show, Nico, that is one of the most dangerous things to see for a team making a playoff push just on the brink of the SCIAC tournament.
Final home game for these Panthers. Senior day on Saturday. Aiden Sherfy, Trinity Barreto, and Callie Kahala trying to ensure that their final game on this court does not end in a loss. They're currently up by 2. Can't quite tell whether another timeout has been taken. Seems to be a bit of confusion down near the scorer's table. But with 6:25 left, let's flip it to the Chapman side. Had a dominant second quarter, lost a lot of that momentum in the third. Here in the fourth, how do you find those hot hands to close out this game and set up a primetime matchup with Occidental?
Well, I think there's 2 different answers to that question. One, it's from the Coach Carroll side of things. Again, she's a chess master. She knows how to move these pieces around her board and get a checkmate. It just really is going to be how she decides to use these pieces on a roster. Throughout this season, we've seen her use a lot of just flowing pieces. We've seen Annie Martinez, Ludwig, pretty much everyone up and down this roster come in at different points in time. So it's for her, do you change the game plan and give someone a shot who hasn't had some time on the court today? And for the player side, it's simple. You got to get the ball to Nakaji. I know she's got it. She has to break out. She has to. I mean, look at Smith. For a while there, she was struggling, and now she's on track. I'm having her arguably her greatest game of the season. So you got to get it to the people you know can get it done. You got to get it to Woods. You got to get her open from underneath the rim. Boom, that's 2. You get Nakaji open for 2 seconds from beyond the arc. Could be a 3, and that is how you really just give the level to death blow.
Honestly, if you give Nakaji 0.2 seconds, she still might be able to kill you. Carol Ju, Anthony Mason, you mentioned it. Both of them playing on a chessboard. It's just a matter of who can get checkmate first. Nitao to trigger it in. Here is Nakaji, a step back 3. Off the right rim and out. Alyssa Smith, her 13th board of the game, and it's a big one. Progino. Gomez with the step inside, floats it. Second chance for Laverne. 25 points, 13 boards, 5 triples for Alyssa Smith in this game. Gray Musself, the double comes. Gomez, Progino, puts it in. Leopards lead once again.
And that was just beautiful execution. They drew out every Panther away from Progino until she had an open lane, and she took it, and she made it hurt.
What's the response from Miley Nakaji? Sherfy backs down on the junior. Aiden Sherfy, circus shot does not go. Man, both of these Laverne squads on the men's and women's side giving 2 Chapman teams a run for their money. Progino, back to back. Why not? Laverne up by 4 with 5 minutes left in the 4th.
Nico, I'm a little speechless. Progino has just been on point. You were wondering, I asked the question, who is going to be the people to help out Smith? And maybe she heard me down from that sideline because she certainly has stepped it up here in this 4th quarter.
Shots falling for Progino and Laverne. Shots not falling for Nitao and Chapman. A loss today could end the Panthers' postseason hopes. A foul called on Gemma Lockup as Smith drove inside. And another trip to the line, her 5th of the game. Alyssa Smith has shot every single free throw for Laverne in this game.
And while that is true, Nico, from the free throw line, she's had her struggles today. So for the Panthers, maybe, again, yes, in a perfect world, she misses both of these. It's very unlikely, but it also gives you a little bit of a fresh air to recompose yourself, take a deep breath, and figure out a game plan, because whatever the plan was coming in out of those timeouts, it's not working.
A new season high for Alyssa Smith. As she splits the pair once again, been a recurring theme so far for her from the charity stripe, 5 for 10 from the line today. Watanabe's been ice cold in this game, able to heat up with a killer cross all the way to the cup.
And that's going to be the key to this game, Nico. We said it for the Laverne team. If only one player is getting it done on the Panthers, someone needs to step it up. And Watanabe finally getting active, and that's what you love to see if you're this Panthers team.
Gray Musself, the kick out. Lennon does not have the conversion. 3:50 left in the 4th.
That air ball is huge, Nico. It gives Chapman the chance to tie this game back up or make it a 1-point game. Either way, that is huge if they want any chance to come back in this one.
Woods, the spin, it's buckets for Layla Woods once more.
I mean, they might have to start putting blueprints for a statue of her spinning, because every time she gets it through.
1-point game in orange. Felix was on an island if she was able to corral it on time. Progino puts it in again. Jasmine Progino delivers in the 4th.
Another hat trick for the Leopards. My goodness, I'm a little shocked right now, Nika. This has just been an absolutely beautiful display of basketball we've seen in this fourth quarter.
Make it 9 points in this fourth quarter for Jasmine Pergitino. Watanabe fading away, able to convert.
Watanabe taking a page out of her counterpart, and Woods there with the fadeaway. Able to break it through, keep this game in a spot where you're not too nervous just yet.
Smith out for Felix. Felix with the left hand, does not have it.
Nico, if you're the Panthers, you have to score on this drive, because then time is going to keep dwindling down, and any shot for the Verne Leopards could be the dagger.
Watanabe rattles it in. Kira Watanabe, biggest shot of the game.
It's getting rowdy here in the Hutton Sports Center, Nico. An incredible finish we're bound to see. Chapman up by 1 point.
The long ball up ahead. Watanabe comes down with it. Alyssa Smith asking Anthony Mason, should we foul? Minute and a half, Chapman up by 1. Watanabe with a quick 7 in the fourth. Woods fades off the front rim and out.
This is the most important drive of the game. A deep three from the Leopards here could be all she wrote.
Anthony Mason verbalizing to everyone in the gym. He wants a full timeout to go over things with 1 minute, 9 seconds left. Down by 1. 1 timeout left for Laverne. What is he saying to his players in that huddle?
I think, if it's me, if I'm Mason in that huddle, I think you're saying, did anyone expect this game to be where it's at? 1 minute, 9 seconds left in this game. I don't think, unless you're a diehard Laverne fan, I don't think a lot of people had this put on their betting lines when it came to this game. They have played some of the best brand of basketball we've seen. They have the chance to, again, play spoiler, be an upset. And it's incredibly important, as we just saw the Redlands and Occidental game go final. Redlands won that game 67-60, so it's all the more important for Chapman to take this game. And if you're Laverne, you're going to use that motivation that Chapman has, and you're going to feed it off to their own. Hey, let's ruin their dreams. Let's ruin their night. It's their senior night, right? Let's make this our gym, and that's what they're going to try to do with 69 seconds left on the shot clock. On the clock, excuse me.
Laverne yet to win a road game this season. Panthers 10-4, playing in Hutton so far this year. Down to the wire we go. Panthers led by 13 at the half. Laverne came roaring back in the third to tie it heading into the fourth. And Akira Watanabe 3. So far the difference here in the final frame. Gray Mussolf hounded by Nitao. Through the back door for Pergitino. It's taken away by Jamalaka.
Nico, this is a spot where if you're the Panthers, you have to go for the kill, but it doesn't need to be a deep three. It can be Woods in the box. They got to go for something. They got to get time down, and they got to make this one hurt right here, right now.
Final 40 seconds for Kira Watanabe. Timeout taken by Carol Jew. A 5-0 run in the past 2 minutes, 15 seconds for Chapman. 36.6 left. Similar question to before. If you're Carol Jew, what is she telling her team up by 1?
I think you just got to find a game plan to do whatever you can to score. Maybe it is drawing a foul. Again, and the dagger, the most dramatic moment of the night, the kill shot, it doesn't need to be an insane 3. It doesn't need to be the most clean Euro step. It doesn't need to be a
Panthers up by 1. We talked about it before. Checkmate has always been within the cards for both these teams. Nakaji. Woods, 2 to shoot. Nitao has to go. Does not convert. Pergino up the floor. Jasmine Pergino and a foul called. Layla Woods came towering over her. Just under 17 seconds left in this one as Woods will check out of the game for Gemma Lockup. Sherfy, the only true big out there, tasked with handling 26 points from Melissa Smith. 1 timeout left for Anthony Mason.
Nico, for the Panthers, you have to be playing the most aggressive defense we've seen.
Nakaji can hold if she wants. Finally fouled. The junior with the play of the game in crunch time.
Did not expect that play to go awry for the Leopards. And look, they had a little bit of momentum. They had the ball in their hands. And now again, a forced foul is exactly what they needed. 11 seconds left, but for the Panthers, you gotta ask, do you hold on to the ball? Do you go for the kill? We're about to find out.
Panthers still 3 fouls away from being in the bonus. Woods gets hacked. 10 seconds left. Watanabe, the inbounder. Woods shooting over 70% from the line this season. Sherfy's been consistent so far today. And your 2 best free throw shooters out there for Carol Jew with McKenna Nitao and the hot hand of Miley Nakaji. Nitao around 1, chews off 2 seconds on the clock. And the Panthers will enter the bonus with McKenna Nitao stepping up to the line to try and put this one to bed.
And that's just great basketball IQ. You knew the foul was coming. You do whatever you can to get as far as you can to try and get some, like you said, 2 seconds down on the clock. Could have been an easy foul right off the gate. And McKenna Nitao doing whatever she could to shave off those 2 seconds.
A big first free throw puts the Panthers up by 2. Misses the second, and a timeout taken. Up off the bench in a flash is Anthony Mason. And if you're Laverne, no more timeouts after this. Not within the bonus range with 7.1 seconds left. The 3 ball has been falling. If you're Anthony Mason, do you go for the kill shot like we've been talking about, or do you try and force an overtime period?
I think you're gonna have to go for that kill shot because I think that missed free throw right now, that's the best shot of momentum you're gonna get really in this spot. If you're getting a 2 ties the game, but that's another, again, we're going to OT. That's another quarter. Can this Laverne defense sustain it for that long? I think you gotta go for the kill again. If that free throw is made, we're talking about a deep 3 for a tie. Now we're talking about a deep 3 for the win and the upset. I think if you're Mason, it might be a little bit of desperate play, but what have you got to lose? I say you go for it.
Alyssa Smith, 26 points, a new season high for her. Jasmine Pergino to inbound has all 9 of her points in this 4th quarter, was 0 for 7 to begin this game. It's an inside feed, and it's thrown out of bounds. It's a disappointing finish for Anthony Mason, as now all he can do is watch helplessly. Timeout taken by Carol Jew. We talked about which play it's going to be. In the end, not a single play going off for Laverne.
I mean, that's just the most unfortunate ending to Laverne's game. I mean, again, game not over, but it's Chapman ball. They get it deep to a player. Cool in the Gang's going to start playing in the Hutton Sports Center. So, if you're Mason, I don't know if you try to go for a play call here, if you try to go for a foul, but again, are you going to be happy walking out of here with a loss? No, no one's ever happy walking out of the gym with a loss, but you have to be happy with what your team has showed today. Upset the #1 team in the SCIAC and had a chance to end the Chapman Panthers season again. 7 seconds left on the clock. Never say never. But I don't know, Nico, this game feels like all she wrote.
Same lineup out there, except this time Nitao to trigger it in. Nakaji. Everyone on the edge of their seats seeing that ball nearly taken away. But Miley Nakaji, a chance for a 20-piece. And with 5.8 seconds left, a chance to put this one well and truly to bed with a checkmate.
Laverne praying to the basketball gods right now that the sure-handed Nakaji can miss one of these two shots.
Life still within Laverne with 5.2 left. Puts in the second. It's a 3-point game. No timeouts for Anthony Mason and the Leopards. Felix will check in for Sanborn. It's Smith, Gray Musself, Pergitno, and Kaylee Shimoda.
They're getting their best three-point shooters on the court right now for a game winner.
Felix up the floor. She doesn't realize she needed a three. The bucket will count, but the Panthers win by 1 in the end. My goodness, what an ending. And Chapman lives to fight another day in the postseason hunt. 57-56, the final score. And Carol Jew, at least for this Saturday, can take a huge sigh of relief heading into Wednesday against Occidental.
Nico, I thought maybe the play call there was to go for a foul. She doesn't. It's just the two. Again, a great shot, but fantastic work there by the Panthers to, hey, maybe the Panthers got in her head, because that could have been an epic conclusion to what would have been regulation if she got that three and made it. But overall, fantastic effort for Laverne. If you're anyone watching this game, you have to be happy with how great of a matchup we just witnessed.
My goodness. I'm not sure if I've ever seen an ending quite like that. But the Panthers come away with the victory in the end. A 1-point win that keeps their postseason dreams alive as they'll take on Occidental on Wednesday. And of course, the player of the game with the play of the day, Miley Nakaji, standing by with our very own Kaylee Ann Milbourne.
I'm down here at the court with our MVP, Miley Nakaji. I'll just be asking you a few questions about this awesome game. First, what does it mean to win your last home game?
I mean, it means a lot. We've been working really hard. Every practice, we're grinding. We have a game plan at the end of the day, and that's to get to playoffs, so that's what we're working towards right now.
Okay, wonderful to hear. And was there anything that stood out to you in Laverne's offense or defense?
I mean, we knew we had to stop 20, and I mean, we let her score kind of a lot, but at the end of the day, we worked together and got stops, so yeah.
Awesome to hear. And it was a really tight game, so what do you think helped push the Chapman Panthers to that win?
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about these past games, and we really locked in on defense this game because that was our whole thing. So yeah, our main focus is defense, and if we just lock in on that, then we're good.
And finally, what was that pivotal moment in the game that gave you the ability to play to your best?
My teammates. Yeah, that's I always think about this. My teammates are what helps me get steals, get stops, get open shots, so yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was all, and thank you for joining us on the court. Back up to you, Michael and Nico.
Kaylee Ann Milbourne alongside Miley Nakaji. 19 points, 4 triples from bonus land, and the biggest play of the game, the steal that nearly sealed the deal for the Panthers, did leave it open at the very end. But Chapman 3 straight wins, and they head over to Los Angeles to take on Occidental, who lost earlier today to Redlands. That one certainly going to be a primetime matchup for the final spot in the postseason.
Both teams sitting at 7-7, tied for that 5th seed in the tournament. Like you mentioned, it's going to be electric as we saw in the Hutton Sports Center today.
As we take a look at some of the biggest highlights, the play of the day from Miley Nakaji. Fourth quarter was back and forth. Jasmine Pergino started to catch fire. She was sizzling from downtown. But Layla Woods, always a steady presence within the paint. Her and Miley Nakaji leading the way with 33 of the Panthers' 57 points. And it's a lovely finish to Valentine's Day if you're Carol Jew and this squad.
You got to be thanking Cupid for this one. I mean, just an incredible showing. A little bit of complacency was the question mark. They did not care at all about what would have happened if this game had gone their different way. And if you're Coach Carroll, all you can be saying is, I guess we'll never know if this game didn't go their way. Because now they're heading to an Occidental for, like you said, a primetime matchup in Los Angeles.
All celebrations for Trinity Barreto, these seniors here on their senior day, and what a way to finish it out for this squad at home. They finish 11-4 here at Hutton. 2 more road games coming up, and the big game coming up against Occidental. What are you expecting from this team, especially considering how they lost to Oxy in this very building not too long ago?
I think they're just going to expect some of the most explosive brand of basketball we've seen from them. Like we just saw Nakaji there, defense was the one thing they got to focus on. Their offense can come out and bang the ball every single time when they're out there. It's really about the defense. If they can show that up, it is going to be one of the greater games we've seen the entire Sky High Conference season this upcoming Wednesday.
What a Valentine's Day here in Orange. And with that, we'll wrap it up here with CSBN. For our director, Ryan Kaiser, our producer, Thomas Quo, my partner in crime, Michael Herrera. I'm Nico Schwegler saying so long from Orange, where the Panthers keep their postseason hopes alive, 57-56 over the Verne Leopards. Happy Valentine's Day, and have a great rest of your weekend.